Welcome to this DaVinci Resolve Fusion node breakdown. Today's node is the patch replacer node, and this is a DaVinci Resolve effect available within Fusion, and it is studio version only. So we're going to jump into Fusion, and we've got this media, and let's say we needed to remove this little outlet here. So there's tons of ways to do it. One of the ways we can do it is using the patch replacer. So I'm going to hit Shift Space, Patch Replacer node, and I'm going to add it after my media. And you can see what it's doing is it's giving us two little gizmos in our display, and one is the source pointing to our target. So if we look at a replacer node, if this is our target, we can resize it right here. And we can change our source. So wherever we select our source is what it's going to replace on our target. And up top, we have region shape. Right now it's set to ellipse, but we have rectangle, and we also have alpha channel. So speaking of this alpha channel, basically this again is meant to be used within our color grading tab. So if you remember right, in our color grading tab, we have this little alpha out. So it's looking for this alpha out, which we don't have in Fusion. So if you wanted to use this, which I have never used the alpha channel using this patch replacer. However, if you wanted to, just remember it's the same as we do with the other DaVinci Resolve nodes with alpha channels. You can create your alpha, add a channel Boolean, and input it with the alpha, and you can use that alpha channel. So let's go back to ellipse. Now on the node itself right here, we've got this little green input, and we've also got a blue input. What your blue input is just like every other node within DaVinci Resolve Fusion. This is your effect input. So if I brought it in an ellipse, it will only take place anywhere I have this ellipse. So if I mouse over it, now you can see it's activating within that effect area. But this green input is for another source. So technically we can use another source other than what is actually on our original media if we wanted to. So let me find just some random footage, and I'll find something that's completely different. So we've got this footage, and we're going to use this to replace our patch. So if I input this into our source, you can see it's now using this as our source image. And let me go ahead and double this up, and let's put this media over here. So you can see as I move this, it's moving around on our source image. So I've got our face there. So if you need to bring other source image to replace your patch, this is how you would do it. So go ahead and delete that. Under our fill method, we have 4 methods. So we have clone, which is just going to clone the area to fill. We have blend clone, which is a little more sophisticated, and it's going to blend it a little more with the original source. So you can see the difference if I select clone as opposed to blend clone. We also have fast mask, which is not going to have a source. It's just going to use the area around your target right here to fast mask around that. And then we have blend mask, which is going to be a little smoother and a little better as far as replacing that target area. So if I mouse over here, you can see it's a little blurrier, and it blends a little better than the fast mask. And then underneath, for our details, this is going to change depending on what fill method we use. So under the blend mask, we have variability. So it's going to change the variable up a little bit. So if I go over this so we can see what's happening, you can see our variability is changing. And we have blur edges to blur and unblur those edges. Under the frame edge pixels, if I bring this over closer to our frame edge, if you look right here, it's still blurry. But if I change this from replace with blended to preserve existing, it's going to preserve our existing frame edge right there. Under fast mask, we lose some of those and all we have is blur edges. For our blend clone, we again have variability. We have the blur edges. We have our border type, which is going to change. So if I change this border, let's bring our borders over. It goes from reflect to black, replicate, and wraparound. And we also have our frame edge pixels, which is replaced with blended from our source patch, which is this, or preserve existing, which is going to preserve the existing patches. Under our clone, all we have is our blur edges and our border type, which is the black, replicate, reflect, and wraparound. So let's go to blend clone. So for both our blend clone and our clone, we have this replacement detail right here. So if I minimize it, you can change how much detail is actually being replaced on your target. Same with blend clone, but we've also got this additional button that just says keep original detail. So if you want to keep your original, you can keep your original. Under our patch positions, this is where we change our patch positions. We can change them here, or we can change it here. We can change our target width and our target height. And down here for source follows sizing, source follows track, target follows sizing, and target follows track. This is pretty much meant for our grading tab, because within our grading tab, we have this tracker right here. And if we use this, this is the data being pushed within our grading tab. However, within Fusion, we don't have that track data. We'd have to generate our own track data. So to be able to track, because obviously our footage is moving, so we would have to track our little outlet there to make sure it stayed in our target. Additionally, if we weren't using our fast mask or our blend mask, we would also have to make sure we track this source as well. So how would we do that? First, I'm just going to uncheck these because these are all moot within Fusion. And after our media in, I'm going to add a tracker node. So we've got our little tracker here, and on our tracker, I'm going to go ahead and use the IntelliTracker, and I'm going to track our outlet, and let's just track forward. So we've got our outlet tracked. So if we go back to our patch replacer and we right click on our target position, connect to, we can go to our tracker, IntelliTracker path, and connect to our position. So now our target is attached to our position. But if you notice, our source is not attached. And if we attach this to our original little tracker here, it's just going to be in the same location. Same with this right here, align source to target. If I select this button, it's automatically going to put our source on top of our target. So we're going to add a new tracker. I'm just going to add a point, and on our point, I'm going to track a little outlet here, and let me change that size up, and I'm just going to track forward and backwards. So now we've got a track. And if I go to our patch replacer, I can go up to this source position and I can connect that to our new track. Now, once I do this, this source position is going to go some weird random place. So you can disregard that. It's not actually at the location that is correct. So once you do this, this source location, you can disregard its actual location. I know it's weird and confusing, but you can. So if I go to source position, connect to my tracker, what I want to do is, instead of attaching it to the position of the tracker, I want to connect it to my offset position, because I'm going to offset the position of that tracker. So once I select that, You can see it's now at some weird random place, and we just lost our little location there. But while viewing our patch replacer, I can select our tracker, and if I start moving these offset positions, it's actually going to change the location. So you can see that's moving our offset, so I can find a new location. And just to show that this is working, I can move this way over, so now we can see all this stuff. So wherever this end is, this is where your new source position is on your tracker. So let's go ahead and find a good spot. Right there. And if I go back, you can see this is at some weird random place, but our source is actually here. And I believe the only reason this does this is because this is Fusion, and it's meant to be used within the grading tab, so it does some odd stuff once you attach it to a tracker. But you can see it's tracking correctly and it works correctly. And then finally down here on our on-screen controls, we can just show, auto hide, or hide our little display there. So that is the patch replacer node. I will see you in the next node breakdown.